everyone, welcome to today's live. Today I'm going to cover like the most basic things about Mandarin. Like first of all, of course, it's the tones and followed by some conversational lessons. So please feel free to like leave me any questions in the comments. Okay, so first one is always the tones because everybody knows that the most difficult thing about Mandarin is the tones. So let's demystify the tones. So my way of teaching or learning the tones is first by calibrating your voice. So think about it's something like your singing range, or you can think of your highest speaking pitch. So you can have that in mind. Something like when you say maybe, like something very high, like maybe, like ah. And when you have the highest, can you find your lowest, which is like well, like like quite low. So the lowest one is always the hardest one. And once you have the highest and the lowest, and try to identify the middle range as well. So the middle range is more like very naturally your natural speaking tone or your natural speaking pitch, like ah. Okay, so once you have the highest, like maybe, and the lowest, well, and the natural one, ah, and you're ready to learn the tones. Okay, the first tone, we call it yin ping. It's kind of like the highest your highest speaking voice, and it doesn't drop. So it's more like singing, like ah. Can you do that? It doesn't drop at all. And the second tone is more like climbing. So you're kind of starting from your natural one, and you go up to your highest pitch. So it's like ah. And you can think of like when someone caught you in surprise, like huh, like ah. That is the second one. The third one is a bit tricky. So I've seen a lot of comments like in my videos, like people say like the third one is always the hardest and changes. So we'll talk about the third tone, like the exceptions of it later. But now you can think of it like a roller coaster. So it starts kind of low, but not the lowest, because you're going to go low and go high again. So like ah. Can you do that? Ah. Yeah, I know. This one would take some practice. And the fourth one is like a bungee jump. So you have to go from your highest tone and to the lowest pitch. So can you do that? And you kind of like to shout a little bit. So ah. Okay. And if we put everything together, so you will have the first tone, high, and we call it yin ping, which means it's flat, high and flat. So ah. And second tone, which is yang ping, which means you go up and climb up. So ah. Oh, sorry, ah. And the third one, remember the roller coaster? So ah. And the fourth one, like a bungee jump. So ah. Okay, so that is all the tones. And let's see some examples here. So the first one, why do we like really put in a lot of like attention to the tones? This is because once you get the tones right, your Mandarin will sound really like a native. But let's say you can get all the pronunciations perfectly, but your pitch is off or your tones are off. That will instantly make you feel like a foreigner. So the first one, we see this a lot. So bao is like it is high and flat. And we have another one. It's not usually taught like in the four tones. It is called a neutral tone. So the neutral tone will be like something like the middle range. So you would say 包子. Z doesn't have any tones. So 包子. Can you repeat? 包子. Okay, that is the yummy pao. And next one. So this is why we have to learn the tones. If you change the first tone to the fourth tone, bao, bao, and you say 包子, that become a leopard. So whether you want to eat a pao or you want to eat a leopard. So 包子 versus 包子. That is quite different. And if you have the third tone, which means you are full, so 饱. So starting from like the second lowest pitch and go down and go up again. 饱, 饱. Okay, so if you look at the Hanzi, this one is really interesting. So the 十字旁, the radical on the left, it means food. And 包 on the right hand side, you can think of it like, the pao. So if you eat a lot of paos, of course it will be full. So 饱, 饱. So later during our Hanzi teaching videos, we'll introduce more about the radical and the pronunciation and how do we construct the Hanzi. Okay, so when you say 饱了, 饱了, the third tone plus a neutral tone, it means that you are full. Okay, so now let's move on to some very interesting conversations. So I've noticed that all the HSK textbooks, they kind of teach those very standard and very formal Chinese. Of course, it is good, so you know how to talk like informal sentences. But sometimes we need to learn like the real daily conversations as well. So these will be like very, very like daily conversations. So when you first meet someone, of course, you need to do self-introduction. So self-introduction will have like the greeting. Everybody knows 你好, 你好 or 你好. So when two third tones put together, the first one will become a second tone. So you don't say 你好, that is extremely difficult. Even the natives will struggle. So you will say 你, like going up, 你好, 你好. And if you want to be super formal or polite, if you're greeting like someone who's much older than you or whose rank is much like higher than you, normally we'll say 您好. So that is 你 plus a heart below. So you will say 您好 with a bit of the nasal sound. So 您好. So 你好 versus 您好. And when you want to introduce your name, there are two ways. Of course, you can say 我叫. So 叫 is more like I am called. So 我叫. So I can say 我叫 Audrey. 我叫 and then plus a name. Can you introduce yourself now? And the next one is simply just I am. 我是. 我是. So you can say 我是 Audrey. 我是 somebody. Okay, and if you want to introduce your nationality, so this is more like a formula. So you can say 我是 plus your country's name, and then 人, which means I'm this country's person. So I can say 我是新加坡人, I'm Singaporean. 我是中国人, I'm Chinese. So later we'll have like all the country names for you to practice. So now we learn the formula first. And you want to tell people that I live in this country or I live in this city. So you can say 我住在. I live in or at. 我住在. For example, I'm living in Singapore, so I will say 我住在新加坡. Just to let you know, like all the notes are downloadable on our Patreon page and it's free. So you can visit our Patreon page from the cover page, from the profile of the YouTube. So 我住在, so it's your country's name. And when you first started learning Mandarin, of course you can say 我会说一点点中文。我会说 which means I can or I'm able to speak. 一点点 means a little bit. It's kind of cute to say 一点点。中文 is Chinese, like the language of China. So 我会说一点点中文。Okay, so I hope you will know how to introduce yourself by now. And let's see the country's name. So I'm not sure which country you're from, but you can type in the chat. So the first one, 国, the first one to notice 国 means country. So 英国, first tone, second tone. 英国 is the UK. 美国, 美 means beautiful. So beautiful country. 美国 is the US. And 日本 is Japan. 德国 is Germany. 中国 is China. 法国 is France. 越南 is Vietnam. 瑞典 is Sweden. Okay, so why do I introduce these two? It's because the last row is kind of coming from the sound more. So Australia would say 澳大利亚 So it sounds a little bit like Australia. And Canada would say 加拿大 Canada. And Italy would say 意大利 And Spain 西班牙 Okay, so once you know the country name, let's go back to this. You can introduce yourself as your nationality and the current place you are residing at. So, for example, 我是西班牙人 I'm Spanish. 我住在法国 I live in France. So you can use this to substitute. So make your own sentences. So it's extremely easy. In terms of grammar, I think Chinese is really, really simple and clean-cut. So we don't really have a lot of prepositions. So you will notice that there are very little like in, at, on, the, and all kinds of like that. So, okay. And the languages. You will encounter a lot of different ways of calling Mandarin or Chinese. Of course, we have 中文. Here we know the country's name is 中国. Right? The country's name is 中国, so that's why the language of China, we call it 中文, because 文 is kind of the written language. So 中文 is a way to call Chinese. And we say 汉语 because HSK is 汉语水平考试. So 汉语, Han is the biggest ethnic group in China right now, which is the Han ethnic group. And the language of Han actually is Mandarin. So 汉语. And in Singapore, we don't call Chinese 中文 or 汉语 because in Singapore, majority of the Chinese here, they are overseas Chinese. They are 华人. They are not 中国人. So here the Chinese language is called 华语, which means the language of overseas Chinese. 华语. So you would encounter like the locals in Singapore say, 我会说华语,我会说一点点华语. Okay, so the next one, So the next one, let's see how to talk about your hobbies. So this is like a very simple formula for you. The first one is 喜欢, 喜欢, which means like or enjoy. And in the Chinese language, we don't really use love, so we use like a lot. Love is a very strong word for us. So you can say 我喜欢, which means I like or I enjoy doing something. And the negative, it's simply by putting a 不 in between the 我 and 喜欢. So you can say 我不喜欢, 我不喜欢. And what if you really like something, like very much? So you can say 我很喜欢. 很 means very. And your favorite, something you like the best. So you can say 我最喜欢. 我最喜欢. So you can see the grammar is really kind of neat. So from 我喜欢 to 我不喜欢, the location or the position of adding the adverbs is kind of the same. So 我不喜欢, 我很喜欢, 我最喜欢. Okay, so let's see some of your hobbies. So, hi, new here. Hi. So we have a lot of hobbies, of course. So 看书, 看书, it looks like look at books. It means reading books. So 看书 is reading books. 看电视, 看电视, watching TV. 听 is listen. 看 is to see or to watch. 听音乐, 音乐 is music. So listen to the music. 听音乐. And I'm sure a lot of people will like this. 玩游戏, 玩 is to play. 游戏 is games. So 玩游戏 is to play games. And just to surf the internet. 上网, this is quite interesting. Like 网 is like a net, so internet. Actually, the full name is 因特网, but nobody will call the internet the full name. They will just say 网. 网 means a net. So 上网, which means just go on the web or on the net. So 上网. And then yoga. So we use the word do. So do yoga. 做瑜伽. 瑜伽 is kind of like the phonetic translation. 瑜伽 yoga. Okay. And 运动. 运动 is sports. And play. Oh, just be careful. Like in Chinese, we don't really say 玩钢琴 because play and to play like games and play ball are very different from play the instrument. So every instrument will kind of have a very specific verb for it. So for 钢琴, we say 弹钢琴. 弹 is like kind of hitting the notes. So 弹钢琴. And playing soccer or playing football, the British one. So 足球. 足 is the foot or feet. So ball is 球, so literally football. So 踢足球. 踢 is to kick, so kick the football. Not 玩足球 for the playing soccer. So 踢足球. And then 唱歌 is to sing. 唱歌. 唱 is the action of singing, and 歌 is kind of the songs, so singing songs. 唱歌. And I'm sure a lot of people will have this hobby. 做饭, which is cooking. 做饭, like make a meal. 做饭. And if you enjoy going to the gym, the fitness center, and to get fit, so we say 健身. 健身. 身 means the body, the health. And 健, which means healthy, so make your body more healthy, more fit. 健身. And 跳舞, I'm not sure, I don't think everybody can do this, but it is a fun activity. 跳舞, dancing. And then 打网球. Have you noticed the difference? 踢足球, we use the word kick. 打网球, we use the word hit. But in English, we all say playing, so that is a much easier way to call. So here we say 打网球. 打 is like use your hand to hit something, use a racket to hit something. So we say 打网球. Same as badminton, 打羽毛球. So 打 like ping pong, table tennis. 打乒乓球. So those like use a racket or use your hand directly, like 篮球, 排球, basketball, volleyball. We all use the word 打. So it's literally hit the ball. So 打网球 is playing tennis. And 游泳, if you know Hanzi, you will notice like both of these two Hanzis will have the 三点水, right? Means water. So 游泳 is swimming. 游泳. And 自行车. So 自行车 is kind of like a self-going vehicle. So cycling, you have to really use manpower to power it. So 骑 is like riding. So we say 骑马, ride a horse. This year is like the year of the horse. So 骑马, 骑自行车. So 骑自行车 is cycling. And 逛街, 逛街. It doesn't translate directly into shopping, but it's more like, walking leisurely, like in the shopping mall and trying to, browse and buy something. It's just, how, yeah, how we enjoy shopping days. But if you really want to say, I just go there and buy a very specific thing, so that is 买东西. 买 is to buy, 东西 is things, so 买东西. 逛街 is more like, I go out with my friends, have a good time, I can do window shopping, I can just enjoy, like walking around in the shopping mall. The last one, traveling, is 旅行. 旅, the yu sound is a bit difficult for some people, so 旅行, and it's third tone, so two difficult things put together. 旅行 is traveling. Okay, so let's come back to this. So once you have the formula, you can say, for example, 我喜欢看书. I like reading books. 我喜欢看电视. 我喜欢听音乐. 我喜欢逛街. So I can say 我不喜欢游泳. I'm afraid of water, so 我不喜欢游泳. 我很喜欢做饭. Like I love cooking. And 我最喜欢弹钢琴, maybe. Like when I was younger. So 弹钢琴. Okay. How do you get a copy of the notes? We have these notes on our Patreon page. Okay, so just in case some of you came in late, I think I'm going to finish like earlier than I thought. So I just think this slide is a little bit interesting. So if you're struggling with the Chinese tones, I think this is a very interesting graph. Like once I showed this to my students, I think majority of them, they were like, oh, okay, now I see like how to, get the highs and lows of the Chinese tones. So the first tone, like it is very high. So can you think of something like starts from the first tone? Like like I usually use this in my lessons. Like for example, the tang, like te-ang, tang. If you say tang, like the first tone, it means soup. Tang, and the second tone is like going from your neutral tone, neutral pitch to the highest. So going up, like ah. And if you say tang, that is sugar. So tang is soup, 糖 is sugar. And if you say the third tone, like like a roller coaster, so that would be 躺. 躺 is to lie down. 躺. And if you say the fourth tone, like the bungee jump, like going down really quick, and you say 烫. What is 烫? 烫 means like if you touch something that is really hot. Oh, 很烫. So you will see like why do we pay attention to Chinese tones so much? It's because once you change the tone, you change the meaning completely. So if you want to sound really like native and you don't want any kind of misunderstanding, sometimes are quite embarrassing, and you just want to perfect the tones. Tones are more important than the pronunciation itself. So when you say, for example, just now we have 汤 soup, 糖 sugar, 躺 lie down, 烫 touch and feel hot. So so that is really, really important. So for example, 包, you will have this, 包子, and then 包子 will be like the leopard. So if you say it wrongly, that is quite scary. If you only say, if you go to a place to order 包子, but I mean, of course they will know that you will not eat a leopard, but it's just, yeah, I think they will hold their smile. And 饱 我吃饱了, which means, oh, I'm full. Like 我吃饱了. Okay. And let me quickly open up another file. I think we still have some time, so I'm going to go through like all the numbers. I think counting in Chinese, Japanese, and Korean is really, really interesting because we use mathematics a lot. Sorry, just let me upload. Some more photos, sorry. Okay. So you can get all the document on our Patreon page. Now the first lesson is free, so I've already uploaded there, so you can download the PDF there. Like I made all the notes by myself, so I really love designing, and this kind of like over the past 10 plus years, so it's really like something that me and my students find interesting to explore. Sorry, just let me get to the page. Okay, so if you're familiar with Chinese kanji, just bear with me. So let's start from the first one. Ling. Ling is 0. Yi, first tone, never drop. Yi is 1. Second tone, second, the number 2, but it's the fourth tone, which goes down very quickly. R is 2. San, first tone again, never drops. San, 3. Fourth tone again. Si. Yeah, Chinese people doesn't like the word si. It's because if you change the third tone, si, it means death. So you will notice that a lot of Chinese buildings, they don't have the fourth floor, or they don't want their car number plate to end with a number 4, or their unit number. Just like the Western world doesn't like the word the number 13. So 4. 5 is the third tone is a little bit low, so 5 is number 5. 6 is the fourth tone. 7 7. 8 ba, you notice it's very high. Ba, and doesn't drop, so it sounds like I'm singing, but ba, 九, 九, it's low again, 9, going up, 十, 十 is 10. And the way to count after 10 is to use summation. So 十一 simply is 10 plus 1. So you say 十一, that is 11. So 十一, 十二, 十三, 十四, 十五, 十六, 十七, 十八, 十九, up until 十九. And all the tens is multiplication. So tens, hundreds, thousands would just become multiplication. So 20 is just 2 tenths. So we say 二十, 二十. Of course, 30, 30, 40, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Right? We can go on but to hundreds, but we'll go on later. So, and in between the tens, it's summation again. So, for example, I put a 71 here. So you have 7 tens plus 1. So 七十一. So do you get it? So in your head, like people are constantly doing math. So maybe that is why Chinese people are so good at math. Maybe it's a cliche or stereotype. And for bigger units, this is quite interesting because in Chinese we group the zeros in fours, not in threes. So like 一百, we have 2 zeros, 100. 一千, 千 is 3 zeros, 1,000. And we'll go to 1, like we don't say 十千, we say 一万 because we group the zeros in fours. 4 0 is a group, so 1. And of course, I'm always confused between Chinese and English because in English we'll say 100,000, but in Chinese, because we group the 5 zeros by 4 plus 1, so it's 十万. So in front we have 十, afterwards we have 4 zeros, is 1, so 十万. A million is 100, 1, so 百万, 百万. And the next unit is like 8 zeros. So we have 亿, 亿. So just just take note about this. Just be careful because we don't really say 十千, 一百千. So in Singapore we are bilingual, so it's it is acceptable here to say 十千, 一百千, people will understand you. But if you go to China and tell people 十千, 一百千, they were like, what are you talking about? So just be careful about, if you know Japanese, you will know this as well. Japanese will have the 千 and the 万, 十万, 百万, 亿, same as Chinese. And how do we count in between the numbers? It is summation again. So for example, 105, just be careful because we do pronounce the zeros in between. But no matter how many zeros we have, we only say once. So if you say 105, that is not correct. 105 is 150. You have to put the zero in between. So you have to say 105. And for example, you have 10,005, and in between you have 3 zeros. So this time you still say it once. You don't say 10005. We don't have time for that. So 10005. Just remember, like, no matter how many zeros in between, you just say it once. So you have 105, 1005, 1005, 10,005, 100,005, 1,005, no matter how many zeros in between. And other things, I think, are just quite the same. Like, for example, 115 is just 115. And this one is 1050. So because we have zeros in between, so this is quite different from English. So you have to pay attention to this. So Instead of saying 150, we'll say 10050. Okay, so I hope you understand 你好. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can just type it in the comments. I will try to answer that. Okay, so once you know the numbers, the first thing when you go to a foreign country, of course, is buying things. So you have to. So this is like an example because when I teach my students, they always think like when I go to a new country and you know how to shop in the supermarket or how to shop in the market. So these are very useful, like something like the name of the item, 在哪里? Okay, when you cannot find something, and I know it's very frustrating. So I know they have all the labels, but sometimes it's just so hard to locate them. So you have to ask them something, 在哪里? 在哪里? 在 is more like in, at, on, all those kind of prepositions. 哪里 is where. Where? So just pay attention to the sequence because we don't start the question from 哪里, but start from the item. The most important thing we want to emphasize. Something, for example, 笔 is like a pen. So if I want to buy a pen and I cannot find it, I would say, 笔在哪里? 你好, 笔在哪里? And the next thing you want to ask is, how much is something? So 多少钱? 多少钱? So 多少 is how many, how much. We don't really care about countable, uncountable. We don't do that in Chinese. So 多少钱 is like how much money. So you can add the item's name in front, like 笔多少钱? 苹果多少钱? How much is the apples, right? And there's one additional unit in the how to say in the money. So we have this is very spoken. I know on the textbook you will learn about yuan, 角, 分, but in real life nobody would say that. That is, I mean, maybe it will appear on the price tag, but people just use 块, 块, which means the dollar. Like in America we say bucks, or in the UK we say quid, something like that. So it's very spoken. 块, like 一块, $1, or 1 yuan. 一元, like 一块. Mao is something. Oh, where's the bread? Don't worry. Later I have a whole vocabulary sheet about like the different types of items. So the Mao or the Jiao is 10 cents. So this is a very different one from English because we don't say that. Here, 10 cents, we do address them. And we have the cent as 分. So for example, like 60 cents, in English we just say 60 cents, but we don't say 60分 in Chinese. We say 6毛 because it's 6 10 cents. Again, math. So for example, 3块5, and the last unit we can always omit them, like in spoken Chinese. So for example, 3块5毛. If you say 3块5, people will understand it's 3块5毛. And for example, 2块9毛9分. You can omit the last 分. People will still understand when you say 2块9毛9. Okay, so this will take some practice. So just now there's a question. How do you say bread for example, like where is the bread? Good question. So let's my first word is bread. So 面包. Remember just now when we are teaching the tones, the first one is 包. 包 is like a pao shape. So 面包, 面 is like the flour, the wheat flour. So 面包 is bread. And if you want to say where is the bread, so you can say 面包在哪里? 面包在哪里? How much is the bread? 面包多少钱? 面包多少钱? Okay, I hope this answers your question. And we have all kinds of things, so we can go through the pronunciation. Oh, this one have double third tones. I know you have the tendency to pronounce like 水果, but trust me, nobody would do that. It's too hard. So raise the first one, like shui, like shui, like when you pronounce as the second tone. So 水果, 水果 is fruit. 水 is water, 果 is like the fruit. So like watery fruit. 苹果, 苹果 is apples. 橙子, 橙子 is orange. 西瓜, 西瓜 is watermelon. 鸡蛋, 鸡蛋 actually it's chicken's egg, because if you want to say duck's egg or goose's egg, it can be different. So 鸡 is chicken, 蛋 is egg. 香蕉, 香蕉 is bananas. 水, 水 is water. 果汁, notice the 果 with the fruit, 水果. So fruit juice will be 果汁, 果汁. Because 果 is fruit, 汁 is juice. And 牛奶, 牛奶, 奶 is a little bit low. So 牛奶 is cow's milk. So 牛 is cow, 奶 is milk. 菠萝, 菠萝 is pineapple. 鱼, 鱼 is fish. 鱼. 酸奶, 酸奶 is yogurt. 奶, just now we said 奶 is milk. But 酸, what is 酸? Have you heard of this? Like all the taste, like 酸甜苦辣咸. 酸 is sour. 甜 is sweet. 苦 is bitter. 辣, 很辣, spicy, hot and spicy. 咸 is salty. So 酸奶 like sour milk. It's kind of sour because it's fermented. So 酸奶 yogurt. 蔬菜, 蔬菜 is vegetable. 蔬菜. And tomato or tomato. 番茄, 番茄. And tissue, very important. 纸巾, 纸巾. 纸 is really low. So 纸巾, tissue or tissue paper. Toilet paper. 厕纸, 厕所 is the toilet. 纸 is paper, so toilet paper will just be 厕纸. And lastly, 肉, 肉. The R sound, I will do another lesson about all the difficult sounds of the pinyin, but 肉, zh is a little bit difficult to pronounce. If you do the English R, we'll be like roll, but it's not really the same. Think about the sh, sh. When you pronounce sh and exactly the same shape of the mouth, and just by vibrating your vocal cord. So it's sh, zh. So zh, o, zhou. So that is meat. And of course, you have different types of meat, like lamb, we'll say yang. Yang is lamb or sheep, so yang rou. And then even the fish meat, you can say yu rou. And the chicken, ji rou, to specify like which kind of meat you're referring to. And then, of course, we have another animal here. So 牛, 牛 is cow. So 牛肉 will give you beef. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can just ask me. So once you have all the vocabulary and you have the sentence formula, you can just apply it. So you can just ask, like, for example, 牛奶在哪里? Where's the milk? 牛奶在哪里? 牛奶多少钱? Like, how much is the milk? But of course, give yourself some time to really get used to the numbers, because we will always tend to think the numbers in our native languages. So I just think numbers are the most difficult thing to think in a foreign language. Okay, so I think we still have some time. So this is more like make use of all the numbers. So it is a good news that we don't really have special names for the months and the days of the week, we all numbered them. So, sorry. Let me show you this first. The meaning of how do we number them. Like 1月, 月 is like the moon or the month. So the first month, January, we say 1月, 1月. Second month, February, 2月, 2月. And then the third month, March, 3月, 3月. And then 4月, 4月 is April, 5月, 5月 is May, 6月, 6月 is June, 7月, 7月 is July, 8月, 8月 is August, 9月, 9月 is September, 10月, 10月 is October, 11月 the 11th month, November, 11月 and then the last one, 12月 December. Oh, we do have podcasts. It's on Spotify, but I'm planning to do something like more specific on like Chinese pronunciation and how to, apply the daily conversations. So stay tuned. I will do something. So these are the different kinds of months. And for the days of the week, so can you imagine when I first studied English, like how hard it is like to memorize from January to December? Okay. And days of the week, we have Monday to Sunday. So Monday to Saturday, they are kind of standard. We just say 星期. 星期 is like the week. Week. So first day of the week, we say 星期一. 星期一. And then 星期二, second day, Tuesday, is 星期二. Third day, 星期三, Wednesday, 星期三. And then 星期四, 星期四 is Thursday. 星期五, 星期五 is Friday. 星期六, 星期六 is Saturday. And the last day, it does follow the English or from like all kinds of languages. Sunday, sun is the 日, right? 太阳, 日. So we say 星期日, 星期日 or 星期天. 天, it can mean the sun, the sky, like something up there, like maybe, like God's day, like 星期日, 星期天. Okay, once you know this, oh, I see Korean. I only know like 안녕하세요, but I can't read. 감사합니다. Only know those. Okay, so once you know the numbers, so you can answer this question. 今天 is today. 今天是几月几号? 今天 is today. 是 is. And 几 is a question word to ask about numbers. So 几月几号, like which month and which date. So can you answer today's date? What is today's date? Oh, the last day of February. Okay. So we can say 今天是2月, right? The second month, 2月. How to say 28th in Chinese? Remember all the math we have done? So 20 is 2 tenths, so 20. And then plus 8, 8. So 2月28号. How is the spoken way to address date? I think you will see a 日 on the calendars or on very formal textbooks. But here we say 号, like in everyday spoken language. And 今天是星期几? 今天是星期几? Today is the 6th day of the week. So we say 今天是星期六. 星期六. 那现在几点了? 现在几点了? 现在几点了? So what time? 点 is more like the hour. So which hour it is now? 现在 is now. So 现在几点了? Le is kind of optional. So 现在几点? Like very casual. Like Japanese 今何時? Like what time now? 现在几点了? And of course you can say 8, right? We exactly 8點50 50分 8點50分 So once you know the numbers, you will know all the days of the week, and you will know the month, and you will know the date as well. Okay, so I think we are about, I think this is all for today, but if you have any questions, you can stay online and just type in the chat. I think this is something I really don't like about life. I mean, from like you can only chat like on the text box. But if you have any questions, you can let me know. And if you want a copy of the note, it's on our Patreon page. I think I just posted, it's a new post. You can find it in the post, it is free. So like the previously shown, the pinyin, I think this one is really important. If you came in a little bit late, so this is what we have done earlier. So if you're struggling with your Chinese or Mandarin tones, so try to calibrate your voice. So know your highest speaking pitch and know your lowest and know your natural one. And I find it, especially for English speakers, I just experimented with a lot of my friends and my students. Like they will find the highest is when they say maybe, like something, maybe, like that is the highest speaking pitch. And the lowest, they kind of say, well, like when you, well, those kind of very low. And the natural range will be like, like just when you let out, like without thinking, like So if you have your highest, your natural, and your lowest, and you kind of number them, you know, from 5 to 1. And the first tone, like I know this is, how to say, it is kind of boring, but it's so important that I think I did some video like a very long time ago to joke about like if you get the tones wrong. Like for example, if you say panda, like do you know how to say panda? Like 熊猫, 熊 is going up, right? 熊 like go up. 猫 is like the first tone. So if you say 熊猫, yeah, that is panda. But if you say it wrongly, if you say like say 凶毛, if you like reverse the sequence of these two tones, so 熊猫 and 凶毛, 凶毛 would be like chest hair. So it's really like bizarre if you say that to a Chinese native. Of course, if you're in the zoo, they can guess that you're asking about the animal, but yeah. How often will we have live classes? I'm trying to do a weekly live, and I'm trying to do one public one and one just for members. So I will, how to say, I will do a poll about like what kind of lesson content will benefit everybody more. So please do give me some of your ideas, like what kind of lessons are you interested? Because what I can share about is like all those things people are struggling with. And also for the timing, I'm thinking maybe weekend will be better for everyone to, you know, really have the time to learn a foreign language. And I'm trying to do like, this is what I've done like for a very long time, like in Singapore. So I've been teaching the Japanese and a lot of Westerners, like in Singapore, like when they first come to Singapore, that they find, you know, here, although everybody speak English, but to know some kind of Chinese is really important, and make them connect more with the locals or with, you know, those Chinese people as well. So this is what I've been doing like during the past like 10 plus years. So I've really like summarized like all the basic, the basic of the basics of Mandarin, like to teach my students about how do you start from zero, because it is so daunting like to really speak a language and to speak like a notoriously difficult language like Chinese. So what I've done is like to really put the sentences as formula. So if you know a very simple formula and you have some sort of like a cheat sheet, like all the vocabulary, kind of substitute or put the vocabulary into the formula, you will know how to make the sentences. And a good news about Chinese or Mandarin is that our grammar is really easy or simple. We don't really have past tense. No, not only past tense. We don't have tenses. And our verbs doesn't conjugate. I mean, that is one great news. So because the verb conjugation can be really messy in Japanese, in English, and I believe there will be like other languages as well. So in terms of grammar, I don't really teach that much because I don't think that is that essential for beginners. Maybe at a later stage you will need to acquire some sort of grammar to write better composition or essays. But in the first few lessons, I just feel like pronunciation, the tones, and some basic sentence formula, and you have your vocabulary, your essential vocabulary, and then you will start speaking Chinese or Mandarin. So once you start speaking and you develop some sort of interest in the language, it will be much easier for you to keep going. Because I feel that learning a language, it can be you kind of feel like very motivated at first, and sooner or later like the interest will just die off. To be frank, like because I've seen some of my that is why like when I first shared about my self-study journey of my Japanese, is because I was a huge fan of Kimura Takuya. So like I watched all his drama, and then I watched all his podcasts, his radio, and his kind of like all kinds of shows, and then I watched other people's shows. So watching like something really interests you, I feel that will give you motivation to keep going. So it will not just be every time you just open up a textbook and feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do this. And also like watching like drama. I know that no, but good news is that now China has a lot of very good dramas, and you can get them online on Netflix, I believe, and you can switch on if you know the Chinese characters good enough. Like you can switch on the closed caption. You can practice your listening and reading at the same time. I just feel when you watch something, not only that you were accustomed, get yourself used to the language, but you will also know the culture of the country and know the culture behind the language. To me, this is very important. Just like when I first learned Japanese, they will nod and they will bow. And if you do not know that and you speak like konnichiwa, will be like, if you say konnichiwa, and it's just, oh, you sound so Japanese. So things like that. So I will slowly share about like all those kind of things. Oh, 大家好，来自乌克兰。Oh, Ukraine. Okay. 你好。哦，那边还好吗？ Okay, so very interesting. I just think that YouTube is a very interesting platform and can bring everyone all over the world together. Okay, so if you don't have, will you also do Japanese beginner lesson? Yes, I'm planning to do that too. But it's more like to introduce like how to pick up the Japanese language from scratch, because I myself like self-studied. Hello. So yeah, I'm planning to do that too. So Japanese, to many people's surprise, Japanese is also very tonal in a way. Japanese also have pitch accent. So maybe because I love music and I speak Chinese, so I'm very sensitive to the pitches. Maybe that's why I can speak Japanese well as well. Please, could you teach us or give us a list of easy songs in Chinese? Oh, that is a very good suggestion. That help us to learn vocabulary. Okay, I can do that. Yeah, maybe I can just maybe I can show you. Oh, but maybe I will choose songs from different era to cater for different age group. Yeah, that is very good interest. How to say, like a suggestion. Mm. Music is a way to motivate people as well. But if you have any, maybe I'll find some interesting Chinese drama as well, because you know there are some popular ones on Netflix. Okay, so I've also recently. Yeah, thank you for joining today's live. I'll see you next time. Bye.